Hello, Professor Flanier. Nikayla McCarthy here, and I will be briefing Gerald Lynn Bostock, who is our plaintiff, versus Clayton County, Georgia, who is our defendant in this case. This case was heard by the Supreme Court, and it was decided in 2020. Our Supreme Court justice in this case is Neil Gorsuch. Facts about this case is Gerald Bostock was a child welfare service coordinator in Clayton County, Georgia. He was fired from his job shortly after he began participating in a gay recreational softball league. Bostock alleged that his employer had violated Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits employment discrimination based on sex. The issue in this case is whether Title VII prohibition on employment discrimination because of sex includes discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. The holding in this case is yes, Title VII's prohibition on employment discrimination because of sex includes discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. The rationale that the court held was that when an employer fires an employee for being gay or transgender, the employer discriminates against the employee for traits or actions it would not have questioned in members of a different sex. This is a straightforward application of Title VII's prohibition on discrimination based on sex. The court stated that an employer who intentionally fires an individual, homosexual, or transgender employee in part because of that individual's sex has violated Title VII. Other opinions in this case, Supreme Court Justice Alito, joined by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, dissented, arguing that the majority's decision exceeded the bounds of the court's interpretive authority and that Congress had not intended Title VII to cover discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. Justice Caban filed a separate dissenting opinion, arguing that while he agreed with the results of this case, he believed that Congress, rather than the court, should amend Title VII to include sexual orientation and gender identity as protected categories. And that concludes my briefing on this case. I would just like to say thank you for reading my briefing as well as watching the video, and I hope you have a great day.